Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Has Phyllis finally redeemed herself on The Young and the Restless? Did Phyllis finally win everyone over with her speech? On The Young and the Restless, November 24th, Phyllis crashed Christine and Danny's wedding, but it wasn't what they anticipated. Instead of roasting them, she actually toasted them. She might have also redeemed herself in more ways than one. Key takeaways: Phyllis interrupted the reception party. She wanted to make a toast. Earlier, it was revealed that she wasn't the one who sent the chrysanthemums. The Chrysanthemum Chronicles. After marrying Danny, Michael, Damien, Christine Lauralee Bell returned to her hotel room on Monday's episode. Nina, Trisha Cast, and Lauren Tracy E. Bregman accompanied her. Nina informed them that it wasn't Phyllis Michelle Stafford, who was ready for Danny and Cricket's wedding, who sent the flowers that Cricket was allergic to. She overheard Esther Kate Linder saying during the ceremony that she sent the flowers. The reason why Esther chose those flowers is that she loved the colors. She wasn't aware of Cricket's allergies. Cricket got a good laugh, which is what she needed after all those nerves. Well, what do you know? Phyllis didn't send the flowers. After all, she was telling the truth. This is not the only time she redeemed herself. I'd like to propose a toast. Phyllis and Kane Billy Flynn returned to the Genoa City Athletic Club. Phyllis grabbed a glass of champagne and held it up in the air. She told the guests that she also wanted to propose a toast. Understandably, Christine and Danny looked nervous. However, Christine allowed Phyllis to speak her mind, as she would be thoroughly entertained. Phyllis admitted that she's never seen Danny smile this much. She became emotional as she shared that she had spoken to someone who said it was healthy to move on from old relationships. Then, she shared that the people who never moved on were Cricket and Danny. But she could see they were meant to be. And Christine finally got her man. She held up her glass, as she said, "Cheers, everyone." Danny apologized, but Christine was pleasantly surprised by Phyllis's speech. Is Phyllis finally redeemed? First, she didn't do anything that would ruin Danny and Christine's big day. She didn't cause any drama, nor did she start an uproar during the reception. She simply wanted to give them a kind gesture. Finally, she was able to move on and give the couple her blessing. It was then discovered that she wasn't the one who sent the flowers. Maybe Phyllis has finally turned a new leaf. Of course, she hasn't been redeemed just yet. She's making questionable moves when it comes to Kane. Who knows what her plans are for working with him? If The Young and the Restless has a patron saint of self-destruction and self-reinvention, her name is Phyllis Summers. For more than 3 decades, Phyllis has clawed at love, revenge, victory, validation, and redemption, often grabbing one only to lose all the others in the process. In Genoa City, where everyone has secrets, sins, and skeletons living comfortably in the closet, Phyllis stands apart not because she makes mistakes, but because she makes them spectacularly. Whether you love her, hate her, or oscillate between the two depending on the week's storyline, Phyllis is one of daytime's most electrifying characters. Impulsive, brilliant, unfiltered, strategic, wounded, and at her core achingly human. But after her latest string of catastrophes, including faking her own death, gaslighting half the town, framing Diane, destroying trust with both her children, and nearly landing herself in prison, the question fans are asking now more than ever is, has Phyllis finally redeemed herself? It's a loaded question, because redemption on a soap is not a moment, it's a cycle, and Phyllis has ridden this particular carousel many times. To answer it, we have to explore not only what she's done recently, but who she has always been. The anatomy of a soap opera. Antihero Phyllis Summers did not come into Y&R as a heroine. She didn't even come in as a morally conflicted woman trying to find her place. She came in chaotic. She came in scheming. She came in with the emotional subtlety of a freight train. And viewers, some reluctantly, some instantly, were hooked. Over the years, Phyllis evolved from that redhead who faked a paternity test to one of the central pillars of Y&R. A leading woman who didn't fit the mold. Where other heroines navigated pain with grace, Phyllis navigated with fire. Where others extended olive branches, Phyllis sharpened them into weapons. Why fans can't quit Phyllis? Because she is unapologetically alive, because she feels everything, desperately and loudly, because her flaws are as compelling as her strengths. That combination makes her irresistible and nearly impossible to redeem in the traditional sense. Redemption for Phyllis cannot follow the usual formula. She is not Sharon, who transforms quietly. She is not Nikki, who repents elegantly. She is not even Victor, who bulldozes morality but saves the day when it suits him. Phyllis is an anti-heroine. Her redemption, if it exists, must look different. The Diane Jenkins War, and its FALOUTF. There's any storyline that pushed Phyllis to the brink of irredeemable. It was her feud with Diane Jenkins. Diane's resurrection hit Phyllis like a match to gasoline. To her, Diane wasn't just a rival, she was the embodiment of every betrayal Phyllis had ever endured, every insecurity, every wound, every fear. The spiral was immediate. Phyllis became consumed. She lost perspective. She lost trust. She lost herself. And in trying to destroy Diane, Phyllis nearly destroyed everything she had left. The fake death. If you tried to explain this plot to a non-soap viewer, they might think you were summarizing a fever dream. Phyllis faked her own death. Let the town mourn her. Allowed her children to collapse under grief. Framed Diane for murder. Teamed up with a completely unhinged criminal, Jeremy. Then resurfaced like oops, sorry, my bad. Even for Phyllis, it was extreme, and the aftermath was brutal. Summer was devastated. Daniel was disgusted. Jack was furious. Friends, what few she had left, were horrified. Phyllis didn't just commit a crime, she committed emotional violence against the people she loved most. For many viewers, this seemed like the point of no return. So how did we get from that to redemption, even becoming a conversation? The answer lies in how soaps work and how people work. WHY. Redemption is still possible. Redemption requires 3 ingredients: self-awareness, accountability, a willingness to change, and surprisingly, Phyllis has shown all 3. Step 1. Pain. As teacher, Phyllis finally saw, for perhaps the first time, that her actions didn't simply affect people, they destroyed people. She watched her children fall apart. She watched Summer break. She watched Daniel pull away. She watched the town look at her with disappointment rather than rage, which in some ways was worse. And it broke her. Not dramatically, not in a burn Genoa City down way, but quietly. When Phyllis hurts quietly, it means she's thinking. And when she's thinking, she's growing. Step 2. Apology without manipulation. This might be the most un-Phyllis part of the redemption arc. She apologized without spin, no excuses, no justifications, no but Diane's speeches. Just ownership. Not everyone accepted the apology. Not everyone forgave her. But forgiveness was not the point. Change was the point. Step 3. The shift toward self-restraint. The list, restraining herself, is like a tiger deciding to take up meditation. It feels unnatural, but we've seen it. She's held her tongue where she once would have lashed out. She's stayed out of conflicts she once would have dived into. She's prioritized stability over vengeance. For Phyllis, this is monumental. The role of family in her RADMPTO, and the engine behind every redemption arc in soaps, is usually love. And for Phyllis, the anchor is motherhood. Summer, the moral compass. Reaction to Phyllis' fake death was the emotional gut punch that forced Phyllis to confront the truth of her behavior. Summer didn't just feel betrayed, she felt stupid. Manipulated. WEAPONIZED. For Phyllis, hurting her daughter is worse than any jail sentence. Repairing that relationship required humility, and Phyllis actually delivered it. Daniel, the line she crossed. Daniel's forgiveness came slower, colder, and with conditions. Where Summer holds her heart in her hand, Daniel holds his heart behind a wall. For him to begin opening that wall again is a clear sign. Phyllis's actions are matching her words. Phyllis as a mother, not a storm. For the first time in a long time, Phyllis is choosing steadiness over chaos because she understands that her children deserve something better than the whirlwinds she creates. And that matters.